I can't say that it's going to be looking too great for Jerod Mayo moving forward after that devastating loss to the Los Angeles Chargers 40-7. And a recent report did come out from ESPN listing the Patriots as actually the fourth best job for vacant head coaches if they do decide to move on from Jerod Mayo. There's a lot of upside. There's a lot of growth that can happen with New England over the next couple of years. Is Jerod Mayo the right man for the job? We're going to break down what that report has to say, also get into some other analyst reports on whether or not Robert Kraft is actually even looking to move on from Jerod Mayo. Before we jump into that, I just want to go on ahead and ask you guys to share your thoughts with me here. The reason why we have Patriots Today by Chat Sports, I talk, you talk, and then we talk about it. Should the Patriots move on from Jerod Mayo? Better yet, will the Patriots move on from Jerod Mayo? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's go ahead and jump into what the ESPN article did list as the pros and cons for the New England Patriots for next year. Well, the pros, obviously, the quarterback and the cap space. They've got Drake May. He is going to be their franchise future. He is phenomenal. You just need to get him a little bit of help. In the cap space, over $140 million in cap space. What more could a coach want when you've got $140 million to spend on a possibility of making the Patriots better? I actually giggled at this, literally LOL'd, when the talent is your con. That's tough. You're pretty much saying our roster sucks. That's not wrong. Our roster is not pretty, but I don't think that's necessary. Well, yeah, it is a con. Yeah, I'm just going to stop myself right there. That's a pretty bad con. But with your pros being quarterback and cap space, then I do think you can obviously beef up your talent, which is what Jerod Mayo, the Patriots, Robert Kraft, whoever's going to be the head coach, whether it is Mayo or not, is going to try to do this offseason. So here is what the ESPN article had to say in more detail about this possible head coaching vacancy and what it would look like. Bill Barnwell: if Jerod Mayo ultimately becomes the Patriots' one-and-done buffer between a franchise legend and his long-term replacement, the new regimen will have its work cut out for him. Basically saying, if somebody gets this next head coaching job, if it opens up, they should have success. As exciting as rookie Drake May is, and Drake May has been, in the moments this season, this might be the league's worst roster in terms of talent surrounding the quarterback. I mean, we already saw that what Drake May has to do. Drake May is actually the least sacked quarterback in terms of his own problems. He has been sacked 10% of his own issues, if that makes sense. Pretty much, Drake May has only been sacked 10% of the time this season because he has set himself up for that sack. And I do agree, the team has potential. They just need the right head coach. That could be Jerod Mayo. It really could be. I'm not 110% ruling out Mayo right now. I'm just saying that from what I've seen with the worst talented roster, he's not doing that much. I know he can only do so much, but if they do end up getting the right head coach, this team could absolutely be over 500. Not this team. I'm talking about the team with Drake May as your quarterback and the $150 million that you have used in cap space this last offseason. Because the reason why I say with a good head coach is because this tweet came out, this quote came out from Drake May right after the holidays. And he came back, I wish everybody happy holidays, hope everybody had a great Christmas. And he said he had a good Christmas. And then he said, now it's go time. What do you mean, now it's go time? You're 3-12 and you're not in the playoffs. You're fighting for the first pick in the draft. Now it's go time? That's a horrible quote. What do you mean you flipped the switch now? What are you fighting for? You just lost 2 days later, 40-7 to the Chargers. What are you talking about, Jerod Mayo? And even despite comments like this, it looks like Robert Kraft is possibly making some rumors around the front office saying, what's going to happen? I can tell you from Diana Rossini that the Kraft family, they were ready for the bumps and the bruises here. They knew that the first-time head coach is going to go through it. They are learning on the job in a really tough market. But you have to wonder, if this is good enough. And I can tell you that the tone in the building went from, yeah, we're going to probably be safe, whereas I can tell you people in that building do not feel strongly about it anymore. And honestly, they shouldn't. They should not feel very strongly about this because it's very ugly. It's ugly what we're watching. And I understand that Jerod Mayo is doing the best that he can with what he's been dealt, but is this too big of a project for Mayo? Is this too much for a first-year head coach to handle? And I don't know if there is going to be this drastic change from year one to year two with a guy like Mayo. I think there's going to be a lot of baggage that is going to come from this season and the lack of success that you did have this last year. So I could see it being a little bit too big of a project for Mayo. And when they say that with the team that has a lot of potential, that is true because they've lost 6 games this season by 1 possession. One of those being the possible Vegas favorites to win the Super Bowl. But then I saw this other report that did come out here that's making me start to think, okay, maybe they're thinking about possibly moving on depending on what is best for the Patriots players moving forward. And then I started to realize, well, there is no job if there's no position available. So what will this look like for Jerod Mayo heading into the last season of the year and into the offseason? I'll break that down in just a moment, but I do want to go on ahead and tell you guys just real quick about our sponsor here, which, of course, is PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. I play PrizePicks every single game day. You guys should, too. It's super easy. All you guys have to do is just pick more or less on a player's projected stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. You can also play in 30 different states, including Cali, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. And right now, PrizePicks offers a MasterCard. That way that you guys can make easy deposits. And when my PrizePicks hit, I know I can get my withdrawals in as little as 15 minutes because they put their customer first. So if you guys want to go on ahead and get started super easy, all you have to do is download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. This will give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game. Adam Schefter coming in here basically addressing whether or not there's going to be an opening for a head coaching position in New England. The Patriots really want to give Jerod Mayo a chance, and that is the plan to stay with him. Now, yesterday, there was a bad loss. That's when he came out with this quote. It was the Arizona, but then, what's ironic is that they have had an even worse loss against the Chargers. If there are 3 more bad losses in this league, we see things constantly change in the last month of the season. But I can tell you, going into the month of December, they wanted to give Jerod Mayo more time to grow. Their plan was to keep him as the head coach. Let him learn on the job and make him continue to build the organization that he did want. I don't think Jerod Mayo's going anywhere, but if they're looking at that, I'm just going to double check here just for good measure. If they're going into December saying that I think that Jerod Mayo is going to be the head coach, December hasn't been too kind to Mr. Mayo. And that is where I start to get a little bit more concerned heading into the offseason is what more do you want to see from Jerod Mayo? Because the first ball game, the Patriots versus the Indianapolis Colts, that was on December 1st. They lost to the Colts by 1. That's tough. It's a tough loss. Then Arizona, you lost 30-17. Then you come back and you lose by 3 to the potential Super Bowl winners, Buffalo Bills, 24-21. And then you lose to the Chargers 40-17. So December hasn't been the greatest year for Jerod Mayo. But then the most recent report that I did see did come from Tom Pelissero. And once again, you're starting to get that mixed message of, it sounds like they do want Jerod Mayo, but is this the right call? Tom Pelissero, barring some type of calamity? Whatever. Over the final 2 games of the campaign, the expectation is Kraft gives Mayo another season to prove him right. Assuming he gets a second season, the focus will turn to the offensive staff, which was thrust into the spotlight by a viral lip-reading video of the Krafts earlier this month. Offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt is generally well-regarded, but the offense hasn't played consistently this season, so some type of changes are expected. The question is, would an OC change stunt the growth for a potential quarterback? There are so many what ifs that I just feel like at this point you have to either make a decision or you don't. If you keep playing the what if game, you can keep going for miles and miles and miles. What if we fire Alex Van Pelt and Drake May is so heartbroken over losing his first OC he decides to quit the team? What if Alex Van Pelt goes and becomes the OC for the 49ers and they win a Super Bowl? Do you see what I mean? You can go and spiral and spiral and spiral, and I understand you want to give Jerod Mayo, Alex Van Pelt, and DeMarcus Covington the best possible way to succeed in New England, but what are we talking about? We are a horrible ball team. If there aren't changes, then there need to be changes in the front office. I'm sorry that you want to give your prodigy from 5 years ago time to grow and develop. But do you want it to really be for your team? You gave a first-year head coach, a first-year quarterback, a first-year OC, a first-year DC. I'm surprised you won 3 ball games. What are we doing, especially when there are head coaches out there that are actually fit for the job? On the Pat McAfee Show, Connor Campbell, a.k.a. Boston Connor Campbell. Word on the street is that Vrabel wants to coach in one place. That is very real. Allegedly, Vrabel is very interested in coaching for the New England Patriots. If a better coach is available, why not go with him? Every NFL team does this. If a better head coach is available, how come the Patriots are like, no, Jerod Mayo's our guy? That's very honorable. That's very honorable. But you are messing with so many factors there. I don't know if Jerod Mayo is a good coach because our roster is so bad. That is a reality you have to deal with. But you also realize that Jerod Mayo has one more opportunity to fight for his job. Because what happened in that Chargers game was pathetic. It was absolutely pathetic. And if you've got a guy that's in your Patriots Hall of Fame that wants to come play, or possibly play, I hope so, wants to come coach for your team allegedly, why would you not jump the gun and call him? Why would you not call him just to see what's going on? And I asked this question earlier in this show, but now my next question is, do you want Mike Vrabel? Type MV if yes. And I have a feeling a lot of Patriots fans are going to want Mike Vrabel as a head coach. It's just business. It's just business. So if you guys want the latest on the Patriots news and rumors, if anything happens with Jerod Mayo, I report about it right here. All you guys have to do to help me out is subscribe.